Back at it with the back at it. Another episode of BK Sportscast. It's
Yes,
your boy
sir.
Tony Fuller.
And your boy AJ full of the
Back at it with another week. Week one wrapped up. Uh, let's go ahead and get into these recaps of the games.
yes, sir.
Uh, First game, Dallas versus Buccaneers. Buccaneers won 31 to 29.
Man, that was a crazy game, man. I like how the Cowboys came out and played, and I hear a lot of talk from the league and from commentators saying that it's the best loss that the Cowboys ever had. Like, I don't understand. A loss is a loss.
A moral loss.
Exactly. Y'all got 4 turnovers against Tom Brady and still couldn't win. So it don't matter how close the loss was or how y'all lost. So, man, I think AB had a great game. He went off. Um, Dak Prescott had a great game, but the thing about the Cowboys is, like I said, they got to find their identity, man, because they had Zeke Elliott. He only ran for about not even 20 carries, and he was terrible. I don't think he had over 50 yards, but Dak, he definitely made up for the slack. He had 400 yards passing. He was dotting up the field, man. They couldn't stop him, but it just wasn't enough to get it done. That's
Yeah,
been the story for the Cowboys for a while.
right. And as a resident Eagle fan, I feel
Yes,
like
sir.
this is not a hate on Dallas, but their defense is not like that. Like
Yeah.
it's all Dak and the receivers. Uh, I personally think Zeke is washed. I mean, he got some good game from time to time, but I personally think he washed. You know, when once a running back start declining, usually don't come back.
Yeah.
But everybody's saying it's like I said, a moral loss, or like you said, a moral loss. But a loss is a loss. You
Right.
can't put moral on the record book at the end
Yeah.
of the season and say we kind of won this. No, it's still a
No.
loss. It's still a loss.
Exactly.
And those turnovers, some of them were gifted.
Yep.
Like the punch out by DeMarcus Lawrence, that was a genuine turnover. He punched that ball out. But the one
Mhm.
that bounced off what's called the hands and right into other, no, those just happened and you couldn't
Exactly.
capitalize on them. So
Exactly. For y'all to get those, who nobody loses the turnover margin by that much and lose the game.
right,
That should tell you right there.
that you not like you think you are.
Exactly. And y'all have done nothing but get injured. Like y'all best players are getting injured. Like
Exactly.
Michael Gallup injured.
Marcus Lawrence
Marcus
injured.
Lawrence injured. Man, I mean, you
Randy
know they
Gregory
go
on the
get
COVID list.
you know
They
they
right tackle
Low
on the
yep. Lowell Collins.
suspended.
Yep.
Like they can't get out their own way.
Yep. And you know they go against my boys this week too. But we
Yeah,
don't get into that.
we're gonna get in that later.
Hmm.
All right, so on to the next game. We got Seattle versus we got the Seahawks versus the Colts. Seattle won uh 28-16.
I mean, I think they should have won. I think the Seahawks they still got it, man. They might not have the best defense in the world, but they got this guy named Russell Wilson, and
He's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
exactly when with the ball in his hands, man, miracles happen. So I think, yeah, that's just
Right. From
you
what I
can
saw,
expect
it,
that.
it looked like they pass rush kept getting to. I mean, they everybody saying that the it was the line. Some people say it was Colts line. Some people say it was Carson Wentz. I think it was a
Hmm.
combination of both. Because I've seen plays where I saw plays where he like the line held up for a little bit, but
Yeah.
he just held the ball. There were people open, like they were the first down. They need to get a first down, and Michael Pittman was wide open to the right. They had Jonathan Taylor coming out of the backfield, could dumped off to him, and
Yeah.
then they had the tight end that just if you wanted to fit it in, he could have fit it in. It was like the
Hmm.
last resort, but he held the ball and ended up getting sacked from the right side. Like it's common, it's both sides.
Yeah.
So and Russell Wilson is just That guy,
Yeah.
he's Russell Wilson,
Yeah.
and it seemed like Pete Carroll letting him play ball instead of trying to run the ball all the time. So
Or
it seemed like he gonna eat this year,
yeah. That's
and
the
you
same
know,
thing that the same thing that the Eagles dealt with Carson Wentz a little bit last year.
yeah,
I think he was a little nervous to just take his shots. He was trying to hold the ball and make a miracle play when
yeah,
you just
a
gotta
hero ball.
drop it down to your running back or hit the open man. Sometimes quarterbacks make it harder than it has to be. Hit the
Right,
open man. That's the name of the game, man. If somebody open, hit him.
exactly. And then obviously, like I said, Resident Eagles fan. Like last year, some parts it was because we had so many injuries on the line.
Yeah,
But when you have injury on the line, you got to get the ball out quicker. Like
yeah,
you got to know where you're going before the ball is hyped.
yeah,
You can't hold. You got to know that you can't hold the ball, or you're gonna get hit.
yeah. Your reads got to be perfect. Your pre-snap reads. That's when they come into play.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So on to the next game, we got Jacksonville versus the Texans. This one kind of shocked me. Um, Texans won 37-21.
Yeah, bro. And I think that's in part to Tyrod Taylor, man. Tyrod Taylor showed a little something. He had 300 yards passing, well, almost 300 yards passing.
Yeah.
He was getting the ball down the field, making plays. They got Mark Ingram on the team, and I just think there was a lot of growing pains for Trevor Lawrence. He had 3 touchdowns, but he also had 3 interceptions.
Yeah.
So like I said, when people put him up for Player of the Week, how could you put him up for Player of the Week if he had 3 interceptions?
Who put him up
It
player
just
of the week?
somebody on one of these pages put him up for Player of the Week, Rookie of the Week, I think.
How you can't do that? Like he threw
Like,
three
come on, man,
interceptions.
3 interceptions.
You can't you
That's
can't
it.
get you can't get rookie of the week if you throw in three interceptions. It's like impossible.
It's impossible. Like it, if you throw 3 interceptions, you got to throw 6 touchdowns.
Yeah,
That's the only way.
and that's maybe.
Yeah, and you still a tough consideration.
But for me, I don't know. People calling for Urban Meyer head already.
Who?
Urban Meyer,
Oh yeah.
they calling for his head already. Talking about he's gonna take the USC job. He quickly shut that
Yeah.
down, but
Somebody, what in the
he
world?
quickly shut that down. So I'm focused on this team, but you
I don't.
it, I don't know. Some people don't succeed in college. I mean, from college to NFL. I don't know if it's the case, and I'm not going to speculate off one game, but we know what happened to Nick Saban. We know what happened to I can't think of any other coaches. It's slipping my mind right now.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of coaches that come to the NFL and don't do anything.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I don't
you
know
got
if
to
it's because
relax
of
though.
that.
You got to relax.
Yeah,
It's
after one game, he's
it's
still
one
getting used
game.
to it.
Man.
This is his uh first game in the NFL, like not even as a coordinator, first game in the NFL in
Yeah,
general.
yeah,
And then Trevor Lawrence's first game, the starter that they wanted, which was uh Travis Etienne. He's
yeah.
hurt. He hurt
The
for a
rest
while, but he been
of the
hurt.
year.
Like you
Yeah,
got to get your flow.
right.
And the Texans is a team of nothing but veterans on the team.
Yeah,
So veterans won. They know where to go to.
exactly. And they
And
playing the team that's of not that good of a caliber team, and they're young.
mm-hmm.
So most of the people on their team is their first or second year. So they're not really gonna know. And they weren't a good franchise last year.
Right.
So
There's a
you
reason they had the
can't
first
expect
overall
that.
pick.
Exactly. You can't expect them to all of a sudden just jump to the height. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't expect them to take an L like they did,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not surprised.
I actually thought that they were gonna take a dub, but like I'm not surprised that they took a L.
Yeah, because on paper the Texans look terrible, and we already see how they run their organization.
Right.
It's not a success. It's not a formula that's going to lead to success. So
And
I just felt
apparently,
like he was going to came and bite them in the butt.
oh yeah, and apparently their head coach don't believe in technology. If I heard correctly, I can check, but apparently he don't believe in technology like um like PFF and I mean I understand if you don't go by them completely, but you got to go by like apparently he don't like to text, he don't like to do all that stuff. Like very old school, very old school.
What is this, Vince Lombardi, man? Hey, John plays in the dirt
And this is Trevor Lawrence's first regular season loss
ever.
ever. I mean, I don't know, but if he did Pop Warner, I'm sure he still won games with Pop Warner. But since high school, this is the first ever regular season loss.
Yeah, I knew this was gonna come quick though.
Yeah, yeah. It's the
Yeah,
NFL. NFL ain't like the other leagues.
I knew that streak was gonna end pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's different out here. Hold on real quick. All right. So on to the next game. We got the Eagles who went down to Atlanta and beat the Falcons 32-6. I'm gonna give you your first, so then we go with my boys.
I didn't think the Eagles were gonna be bad this year, but they definitely surprised me with that first game. But the Falcons ain't nobody crazy anyway. But the way that Jalen Hurts came out and played for throwing over 300 yards, the 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, he had a great game, man. And also, I liked how Devontae Smith got his first touchdown. They say he had a touchdown almost the same way he got that touchdown in the Alabama game to steal it. Yeah, man. I just like how they played. They played with swag. I like how Jalen Hurts played, and I definitely like how he played because he got me a lot of fantasy points and won my fantasy game. So I appreciate him for that. But yeah, I just think he looked real good, man. If he can keep it going, I think it's a bright future for him. I think he's figuring it out. They said he's one of the hardest workers on the team, so I think he's starting to show.
Yeah, they said him and Devontae Smith are two of the hardest workers.
That's great for your quarterback and your wide receiver to be the 2 hardest workers on the team,
I love
and
it.
two of the youngest.
I love it.
Crazy.
So my boys went down there and smacked up on them boys.
Yeah, boy, hype.
You know I am. It got to be. But I didn't. I expected us to win, but I ain't expected like this.
Yeah.
But being that Matt Ryan is a seasoned vet, I thought that was going to at least give him some points or give him some kind of moxie or whatever to bring him down the field and at least do something. And then they got Calvin Ridley, who is a very good receiver in the NFL.
And it's also my fantasy team, and they almost messed me up.
But I did not expect my boys, to do it like that. That D line and that O line, it all started with them. And then Jalen Hurts played great, mentally tough. He did nothing phased him. He was relaxed, calm under pressure. We only gave up 6 pressures, but every time we got pressure, he was calm. Went through his progressions. He made the correct throws, smart throw. People were getting open. Nick Sirianni did what he's supposed to do. He had a great game plan. Our defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon, he had a great game plan. It was just complete football, and I loved it. And I feel like if we can continue on this, keep improving on this, we can do some things. I'm not gonna say we're gonna make a deep run in the playoffs, but this is a great first step to the future.
Something to build on.
Definitely something to build on, and I'm loving it. I can't wait to see where we go. So now it's on to your game.
Okay, that's what I'm ready for. I got a great
Chargers,
insight on this game. Yeah,
Chargers went down to Washington D.C. and they didn't beat up on them, but
they beat up on them.
They beat up on them.
The score doesn't show how bad we beat up on those guys.
So the score was 20-16. And I'm definitely gonna let you get this because you was actually there. Well, let me get this first. Since you was there in person, you can get a little bit more detail. So
right.
With the Washington defense, It all started with their D line.
Yep.
And their D line couldn't do anything. They gave up 0 pressures all game. 0. None. And to do that against that line, that's great. Especially for the first game of the season. You get your feet wet with that. Love it.
Yep.
And then because I wasn't watching the game myself, I kept seeing the highlights on my phone. And that boy Herbie delivering. Throwing heat on all them passes. Boy.
It's a
I
beast.
love to see it. I love to see it.
It's a beast. See, me, I didn't come into the season. I was a little scared. I think it was going to take a little bit of time for him to, because this is a new season for him. It's a new system. Got a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator, even a new quarterback coach. And I thought it was going to take a little bit of time for him to get into the system. But they said he's such a cerebral player that it's easy for him to get the system down. And from yesterday, you could show how work he's been putting in. It's like he knew where he was going, and they couldn't stop it. But like I said, like you said, I was at the game. I had some good seats. I got to see everything. And one of the best players of the game was Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen was unstoppable. And we just did whatever we wanted to do. We had a couple of things that kind of shifted the momentum a little bit in the third quarter, but I feel like the first, second, and fourth quarter, we just dominated. And it was just so refreshing from them coming out. We got the ball first, and we went straight down the field and scored a touchdown. Like, we were just clicking on all cylinders. And they said we went 14 for 19 from third down. Like, that never happens. Like, that was a great game. And some things like we were in the red zone and we got a fumble. Montez Sweat hit the ball out of Justin Herbert's hand, but it was obvious to see that his hand was going forward. And it went out of the back of the end zone, got a touchback. So we lost the ball. But we would have scored on that drive. And also, that last drive, we had the ball, we had possession. We got to maybe the 10, 15-yard line. So if we wanted to score, we could have. But one of those third downs, I said we were 14 for 19. One of those third downs was us running the clock out. We were in victory formation. So we were really doing whatever we wanted to do. Herbert was picking those boys apart. And my player of the game for that game, I know we talk about Justin Herbert, we talk about Keenan Allen, but really Rashawn Slater, our rookie, was the player of that game because he went up against Chase Young on most of the snaps, and he didn't allow a pressure, he didn't allow a sack, he didn't allow a hurry, he didn't allow anything. He shut Chase Young down. Same thing he did in college, and it was so bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
It was so, bro. It was so bad that I was looking at the game, and I seen Chase Young on the other side. Like he did him so bad, they had to move him to the other side of the field to even get some impact because he was just shutting them down. And that's crazy to see as a rookie left tackle in his first game ever in the NFL.
I know
to shut
Slater
people
was
down
like
like that.
Where you go, my boy? Like, come back.
Exactly. What you going up?
What you doing over there for?
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Come back over here.
And the only reason he got some impact because he was going up against Brian Bulaga, and Brian Bulaga was hurt. Obviously, you could tell the way he was playing, he was hurt. Yeah, man. They shut them boys down, man. And the defense looked great. Asante Samuel came up making plays. It was just great to see.
I know you love me in the game too.
Man, what?
Especially
talking so much smack.
Playing like
talking
that.
so much. Yes.
Tell them about the boys you saw in the fan you was talking about.
Oh yeah, you talking? I had a fan behind me and a fan in front of me, and the dude was sitting down. We were beating him, and we were just doing whatever we want. It was obvious to see that we were just dominating them. Both sides could tell that. And the dude was quiet. I thought he left. That's how quiet he was. So he was sitting down. I came to him like, what's going on, bro? Why you not talking to me no more? And he was like, I'm trying to mask the fact that I'm mad right now. Like, nah, come on, bro, talk to me. That, mind you, that ended up being the worst thing I could have did because he wouldn't stop talking my head off. But I had a
You
great
get what
time,
you
man.
asked for.
And there was a guy behind me when they scored to go up. He tapped me on the back. He was like, "You good? I'm just trying to make sure you good." I said, "I got it. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good." And then we ended up winning. And I turned around. He was walking up the steps. I'm like, "Man, where my boy go, man?"
Let me hurry up, get out of here.
Exactly. He said, "Let me beat traffic." Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right.
So we're gonna move on to the next game.
All right.
All right. So the next game, this was a shocker to me. Is the Steelers versus the Bills. The Steelers
Man.
came down there and won 23-16.
Yeah. That game didn't look good for either of the quarterbacks because Bills ain't supposed to lose that game, man. Bills
No.
ain't supposed to lose that game. And for Ben Roethlisberger to go through that game he didn't even have 200 yards passing, and they still won against the Bills. The Bills is tough. They're a tough team. So that's one of those games that they got to shake off that first week rust.
Mhm.
Like I think me and you talked about. There's a lot of teams that they got to win the first week that they're not as good as advertised,
Yeah,
and
we gonna get
then
over that. We can get through
yeah,
that. Yeah, the overreactions.
yeah, and a lot of teams that's not as bad as advertised. And I feel like the Bills are one of those teams that's not as bad as advertised. They just had a bad game.
So I feel like I feel like that was a good game plan by by the Steelers defense because you know what's Steelers is nickname Blitzburg. They are one of the most blitzing teams in the NFL. They blitzed one time all
For
game.
real.
It was one time
That's crazy.
because when you got a mobile quarterback right there, you blitz and he finds the opening. Normally, when you blitz, everybody's in man. So if you're a man and he don't see an open, everybody back his turn, and he get a 10-yard gain easily.
Yeah.
So when you don't blitz and everybody playing honest, you you make them think a little bit more.
All right.
So I think that's what happened. They had a good defensive plan. As we said last pod, old man Ben, he's not doing it for him. He's not gonna be the reason they win.
Yeah.
He may be the reason they don't lose it because he got the experience, but he's not gonna be the reason they win anymore.
Yeah. He went from being a game winner to a game manager.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
So I mean that we ain't really need to say much more about that one.
Yeah.
So next game is the 49ers versus the Lions. 49ers, they won 41-33, but the score doesn't say how the game was because that not at 33 points was garbage time. And they started making a comeback in garbage time. People always saying, "Oh, it was a moral loss." The game was over. They started shutting down. I mean, it started getting close. They was a one score away, but they started shutting down at the end, and they started giving them yards. So I don't kind of moral loss.
Yeah. Like we said, people don't know football, so they don't
Right,
know that that's a moral loss. They don't know that, you know, they just the other team is really trying to come back. They know there's no way to come back. And so, like I said, 49ers, this is obvious. I think the 49ers is one of those teams that's way better than they were last year because they
right.
had a lot of injuries. They're gonna be one of those teams to make a run in playoffs. Because they got Jimmy G is not a bad quarterback, but I also think that Trey Lance is gonna get his opportunity to win that starting spot.
Yeah,
Uh, I'll say around maybe mid-season he gets that chance, and they got all their defensive players back. But one matchup too that may have went under the radar was Panay Sewell, the rookie Panay Sewell on Nick Bosa. Nick, man, he was doing that boy dirty.
I
He
think
couldn't
they
do
got only
anything.
one sack.
Yeah, he couldn't do anything, and he was just demolishing him. Like he was playing to the whistle blow, and that's another one. Just like Rashawn Slater, those were the two best left tackles coming out, and he had great weeks.
Right.
I never been into the offensive line as much as I am this year, man. It's starting to be fascinating for me to watch.
Right. Because it's a big part of the game. It's where everything starts.
Yeah, and I
If
didn't
you don't have a
realize
good
how much technique goes into being a left tackle, and that's one of the biggest things when people say when you're trying to build a dynasty or build a franchise, the top three things you're supposed to have is a quarterback, um, a cornerback, a left tackle, and let's throw in a pass rusher.
Mhm.
Those are the four things to build your dynasty,
Right.
and that's something that you have to have. You have to protect that blind side. That's why they get paid so much.
Right. And even if you don't have the quarterback yet, you can have the other things and then put the quarterback into that spot. Like
Yeah. Uh-huh.
those the trenches, that's why everybody say build through the trenches. Because
Yep.
the trenches is the most important. They got the most people on the team do the trenches.
Exactly.
The line got
Yep.
5 people, at
Yep.
least 5 people, and
Yep. On the field at one time.
right, and the defensive line got at least 3 people on the field at one time. So
Yep.
building through the trenches is very important,
And
and
you
it's
see, that's
very
what the
very
Chargers did.
underrated.
Yeah, that's what the Chargers did. They see they got that quarterback. They said, "Oh, we got a quarterback." Now it's time. The first thing they did was build this offensive line around him, so that he can be protected and that he can go through his reads and do what he need to do. And that's what, and it really showed in that last game when he didn't get touched. He didn't get pressure. He got pressure one time, and he got sacked one time. The other sack was the hitting the ball out of his hand. I don't really count that because usually he'll step up there or push him past. But I just think that the Chargers did a great job in addressing that. That was the biggest thing. We got 4 new offensive starters, and it really showed. They said we had the lowest pressure rate in the whole NFL last week.
Yeah, that's the same thing with the Eagles. We ain't had the lowest pressure rate, but Howie Roseman is the GM that's going to build through the trenches.
Yeah.
That's why most of all our money is tied into our defensive line and the offensive line.
Yep.
So we're gonna move on. Well, I didn't say anything about the game. Well, I said a little bit. I mean, that's all I was gonna say. The Niners dominated the whole game. The Lions aren't really a good team for real,
Yeah.
and they got their points off garbage time. I mean,
Yep.
even Swift's touchdown, garbage time. Like you can't try to like when you playing a little kid and you already won the game and you just playing around with them and they start scoring points. That don't mean they about to beat you in the normal game.
Yeah.
It's garbage points. Nobody
Yeah.
cares anymore.
I'm sure they have people in the game that don't play,
Exactly.
trying to reserve the starters and stuff. That's what I would do.
Exactly. I'm not sure who was in the game at the time, but even if they did have starters in the game, they just like going through the motion right now.
Yep. And we just trying stuff,
Right.
plug in and play.
So the next game was more of a tighter game, and it was the Vikings versus the Bengals. The Bengals came up to win 27-24.
Yeah, that surprised me. That surprised me. But it can't be too surprising because they got Joe Burrow on the team. Joe Burrow is in for a great season this year. He had that torn ACL last year, and I think he would have gave Herbert a run for his money for that offensive rookie of the year. And I thank God that he couldn't. But I never want to see nobody get hurt. But I also want
Right.
to see my players get the accolades they deserve. But yeah, and I think Jamar Chase came into his own too. He had a lot of drops in the preseason, and he made up for those drops because he went
Right.
for 100
Yeah.
yards in his first game.
Mhm.
Even though the one long pass he had, the corner, I don't know what he was looking at, but a
Hey,
touchdown is a touchdown.
you see the clip where it looked exactly like he did in college?
Yeah, that was fire.
Right.
That was fire. He had that
Yep.
same connection he had in college, man. That's scary.
Right. That's why Joe wanted him so much.
Yeah,
That chemistry. You already got the chemistry. And I
yeah,
think that's I
but
mean, even though Hurts and Smith, Devontae Smith, they didn't really have a whole lot of time together because uh Hurts transferred, but just having that little bit of connection with the receiver already, you already know where they want the ball and how they want it.
and when you think about it, Alabama practice is a big part of Alabama's culture. So I'm sure they had that chemistry in practice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna see if Joe Burrow begging for Jamar Chase is going to pan out because with them picking up Jamar Chase, they didn't get a top offensive lineman. And
Right.
that was a problem last year, was him getting injured. Who was going to protect him? And yeah, you didn't really see much of a impact of that against the Vikings, but going on in the year, we're gonna see if it comes back to bite them.
Right. The Vikings don't really have much of a pass rush, but we're gonna see.
Yeah, they got rid of their pass rush.
Yeah. But for me, I think you said everything you needed to say. I don't really think Vikings are really that good this year. Honestly, the Bengals kind of surprised me. I thought it would take a little bit of time for them to get going, but they came out the gates running. I mean, they won in overtime, but still, a win is a win. A win is a win is a win.
Yep.
I feel like with more wins and more time, they go start to see how good they are, because Chase and Higgins are two good receivers.
Yep.
And we already know about Joe.
And then they
Next
still got
game,
Boyd too, don't it?
who? You still what? Yeah, they still
Boyd.
got Boyd. Boyd is very underrated.
Very underrated.
He's just like he a little bit more underrated than Tyler Lockett, but they both the same type of players.
Yeah.
So next game is the Jets went down to Carolina, and Carolina beat the Jets 19-14.
Yeah, that's ugly. But like you said, a win is a win. I think that Zach Wilson is going to come into his own eventually, but it's just not right now. They're going to have to put a lot of pieces around him, mainly the offensive line.
Right.
But yeah, this is a win that the Panthers should have. I mean, they got Sam Darnold for a reason, Robbie Anderson. So yeah, they got a okay defense. They got Christian McCaffrey back. He should be a big win for them, during the season. So I think they should be okay. They ain't gonna be no playoff team, but this is a game they should win.
Right. This is the beginning of rebuilding.
Yeah.
And Robbie Anderson, I don't know if he's underrated, but he's another player that people forget about. That speed is, you can't teach speed.
They gonna have that same connection they had when they were both in New York.
Right. And Sam Darnold was coming out there to show revenge.
Exactly.
Trying to get revenge on, y'all ain't believe in me? Okay, watch this.
Yep. I think me and you talked about him being that one player that is good if he's in the right system.
Right.
And people look at him like he's a scrub, and that's not the case. He was just in a bad system.
Remember what coach he had?
Yeah.
The reason Adam Gase ain't got no job right now.
Yep.
The reason he's in like 2 or 3 different teams.
He can't stand Gase.
All right, so next game we got is the Cardinals in Tennessee. The Cardinals went down and beat them 38-13. Go ahead and talk about that boy.
Man, hey, I can say I can see my thing. No,
you go ahead and say it early. We go ahead.
All right. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till after we talk about this. So yeah, but I mean, obviously, we kind of gave you a little preview, but first of all, that boy, Kyler Murray, that boy went off.
He went off.
That boy went off. I believe it was 5 touchdowns. I think he had 3 in the air and 2 running or something. If I'm not mistaken.
Let me see.
Yeah, but man, he had a hell of a game, man. He had a hell of a game, man. And he was throwing it in the air, he was running it, he was just doing whatever he needed to do. And I mean, it doesn't hurt to have DeAndre Hopkins, the best wide receiver in the league.
He had 5 total. He had 4 throwing and 1 rushing.
Yeah, that's great numbers, man. That's great numbers. Like I said, it doesn't hurt to have the best wide receiver in the league.
Right.
And he was doing whatever he wanted to do.
Top 3 right now.
Who?
I get DeAndre top 3 right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him number 1. I don't see anybody as good as him right now. But yeah, like He got to be number one because he got some of the best stats
Yeah,
of this first week.
right, right.
And I was when I was at the game, he just kept coming up on the jumbotron, like just plays he was making. Man, he's a monster. And let's talk about the defensive side of the ball.
Whew. Real quick, I did not think the defense gonna be like this.
That's crazy. And all I want to say is to Chandler Jones, Taylor Lewan has a family. Taylor Lewan has a family, man. This man gave up 5 sacks, and 2 of them were strip sacks, and one of them was a strip sack, scoop and score. Like he did what, man, he was demolishing these boys, man.
Like we talk about playing with little kids. He had like he was a little kid just then.
Exactly. And he wasn't even putting no crazy moves on him. He was just hitting a swim move, and Taylor Lewan just couldn't do it. He couldn't hack it.
At least Tyler Warren was humbled and went on there and said, "Hey, you exposed. They feel first exposed me."
Yeah, yep. I hope we learn from it because
I hope so.
I ain't never seen nobody do what he did.
Right, treat a grown man like a child.
Exactly. And now they got JJ Watt, so they can really key in on Chandler Jones. I think he gonna have a good season. He already started off. He can end the season right now, and we'll have a mediocre season.
Right.
But he ain't gonna do nothing but get more sacks.
People talking about if he keep on this pace, he'll have 85 sacks. He is not gonna keep. He would not got 5 sacks every game. Come on now.
85 sacks. Bro.
85 sacks. That's not gonna happen. That's impossible.
Exactly. 20 sacks is a good year.
Exactly.
A great year.
I'm gonna say that now. That's impossible. 85 sacks, impossible.
It's impossible. Impossible.
Not unless you play
because every left tackle ain't Taylor Lewan.
Exactly.
Taylor Lewan ain't one of the best tackles in the whole league. I mean, he's a solid tackle, but right. He ain't one of the best in the league. And he ain't gonna get no 5 sacks against everybody. Because people also gonna be smart and start chipping him too.
Exactly.
And that's what the Titans should have did. If you see your man getting exposed, send a running back out there to help.
You got the biggest one in the league.
Exactly. And he ain't running the ball like he's supposed to, so he need to be doing something. So yeah, man. I thought the Titans was gonna win. I had the Titans winning this game.
Me too.
But they just got exposed. The whole team got exposed.
My thing is where was Julio?
Facts. He was on my fantasy team. I'm thinking he was gonna go off because he didn't have to worry about getting doubled because of AJ Brown.
Exactly.
And I ain't see this man nowhere. I'm pretty sure he gave me 6 fantasy points.
He had 3 catches for 29 yards. That's not Julio.
No.
Who is this man?
Exactly. Who's this guy?
Hey, new guy.
Exactly.
Like
change your number to number 2 and you don't know how to act.
Exactly. You better change it back to 11.
Or go to 8.
And get Derrick Henry number 2. Yeah, go to 8, go to something else. Yeah. Get Derrick Henry number 2.
Right.
He won't take it though. I'm mad at that. But
yeah, that would have been fire.
I swear.
I digress.
But yeah, that was just a beating from the Cardinals. Like, right. And if you look at highlights from the game, it looked like Kyler Murray playing Madden out there.
Right.
Running around, moving bad. Like, bro, you on the sticks right now? Just
exactly. It'd be so funny, bro. See his little legs running around.
I swear,
bro. He's so little. Bro. His little arm.
5'10". Hey, bro.
Yeah, he a little shorter than Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
but Russell Wilson doesn't look that small though.
Nah, because he built different.
Yeah, he probably got longer arms, longer legs.
Yeah, his body is wider than what's called this.
Yeah.
And but I'm dead every time I see like a picture of Kyler Murray. Then everybody else's head is right here. His is right here. Bro, I'll be dead every time.
Look at the little guy.
Look at this little guy. Little
exactly, but
hey, little guy.
He be burning people though.
It was so fast.
Exactly. You don't realize how fast he is because you just see his little legs moving.
Exactly.
He be leaving people.
Imagine if he had longer legs and stride out people.
He'd be like Lamar Jackson.
right. But that game, I mean, you said all I need to say that defense. Like I didn't expect that defense to be that good.
Yeah.
I thought that defense was gonna struggle because they struggled last year. They didn't have corners last year, but it seemed like towards the end of the year, everything started coming together. So I should have took that from last year and put it into this year, but they just keeping defense just kept it running.
Yeah.
So on to the next game is it was a good game. The Chiefs versus the Browns.
Man.
Chiefs won 33-29.
I think if Julio is in the game, I think the Browns win.
You said what?
I think if Julio plays, I think the Browns
Julio?
win that game. Not Julio. I'm sorry. OBJ. OBJ.
Yeah,
I'm
oh yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Oh yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
feel if OBJ is in that game, the Browns win.
Hey, are we
Especially on
gonna
that
get
final
OBJ
drive.
back? Like OBJ. Like he ain't been that OBJ in a while.
He's
He
just
had
been
little
hurt though.
he had spurts of being him, but I haven't seen him be him in a while.
Yeah, that's true. Them injuries, man, they ain't no joke, dog.
I know.
Them
He
injuries
get
ain't
he
no
into so
joke.
much.
Exactly. Especially that messes with your psychological.
Mm-hmm.
It messes with your mind, man. Now you don't like to. I've never had a serious injury, I wouldn't say, but I've had season-ending injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And when you come back, it's like you are scared to to run a certain way, cut a certain way because you don't want to get it re-injured or you don't want to get a hit wrong. So
Right.
I feel like that's kind of what he's doing, but he has the ability.
Right. I mean the hands ain't changed.
The hands ain't changed, the route running ain't changed. He's a beast.
He just gotta stay healthy, stay on the field.
Yeah,
The best ability is availability. He
right,
just can't stay on there.
right. And I think that the Browns, they are definitely a playoff team. They are definitely a team to reckon with. And I
I
knew that
think this
coming
showed
in.
that they're a playoff team.
Yeah, because their defense, they're stout. Of course, Baker Mayfield is coming into his own. They got two great running backs, and Nick Chubb and remind me,
Hunt, Kareem Hunt.
Hunt. Yeah, Kareem Hunt. And they had this game, man. They just couldn't pull it out, man.
They got this guy named Pat over there.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
kid,
And
the
Tyreek
kid,
Hill.
the kid goat.
Yeah, yeah. And Kels.
Right. I mean, when you got all that, you got three top five players or top
Yeah.
10. You got three top 10 players on your team. I mean, it's hard to beat them teams. You have to be
You gotta
perfect to beat them teams.
yeah, you gotta beat them for 4 quarters, man.
Exactly.
Can't have no big mistakes. You got to play a solid game for the whole game to beat them because they take
Exactly.
advantage of mistakes.
You got to be 4 quarters and 15 minutes per quarter. You can't take no play off to try to beat
Right,
them. And
right.
even if you play a perfect game, Mahomes will have one of them crazy ass goddamn throws
Exactly.
and complete it, and you be like, "What? How that happen?"
Exactly.
And then you lose.
Yep.
If it weren't for that crazy throw, he just threw it up just because he said in his press conference that there was a clip that said Tyreek's over there somewhere. He said,
Yeah.
"Yes, that's how it was."
Yep.
If it weren't for that play, then Brown probably would have won.
Yep.
But Mahomes just made some of them crazy plays that you can't guard.
Yep. You can't make no mistakes with him, man.
You have to play absolutely perfect to beat him,
Yep. Right.
or be like, or his line be hurt like he did in Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I know, just like we said, there's no moral victory, so this wasn't a moral victory. But this game showed that they can actually do something in this league. The
Yeah.
Browns can do something in this league.
Yeah. Because the Chiefs is arguably the best, if not, second
It's
best.
not the best, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a good game. So the next game we're gonna go to the Dolphins versus the Patriots, and Dolphins just barely got away with this one, winning 17-16.
Yeah. I mean, they both are young teams that have quarterbacks that are coming into their own. Um, I figured it was going to be this. just because how the Patriots run their organization, I feel like they're in any game.
Mhm.
So them going against the Finns, I think that Tua is coming into his own. I think that Tua is going to make a pretty good run. I don't think he's going to make no MVP type numbers or
Right.
anything like that because he still has a little bit of a problem throwing the ball down the field. He'd rather check it down and then take a shot.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to do way better than he did last year. I think this second year is going to show a lot of improvement. Um, and he was able to get the win. So I think he did pretty good. If his receiving core can stay healthy, Devontae Parker stay hurt.
Right. I mean, that's the most important thing at the end of the day is getting the win.
Yeah. So
Regardless,
you got
regardless who it is, regardless if it's you playing the a young team or if you playing the Chiefs. So a win's a win,
the win is a
no matter
win,
who,
man.
no matter who it is.
Yep.
Uh, I thought it was a good week one actually for both teams. Even though the Patriots lost, it was still a good week one start off for them. I
Right.
know Belichick was probably pissed because Belichick don't like to lose. I mean, nobody
Yeah.
likes to lose, but Belichick is Belichick. He's used to winning all the time.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was a good first week one game for two young quarterbacks, and Dolphins just need to work on their line. Their line is getting beat up.
Yeah.
But to the next game, we got Broncos and Giants, and Broncos beat the Giants 27-13.
I just think that they found him a nice quarterback. I hate to say it because of course, they're in our division,
Mm,
but their biggest weakness from last year was their quarterback, and I think they were able to address that with Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's a very underrated quarterback, um, and he is I wouldn't say he's a game manager, but I would say that he doesn't lose you the game.
right.
You know what I'm saying, but he can make those big throws. He can make those big plays to win you a game. And I think that's what he did with the Panthers last year. Even though losing Chris McCaffrey, Chris McCaffrey. Uh, but I think that I was scared that they would find that quarterback, and I think they found it.
Yeah. Well, as long as it's not A-Rod
Yeah, or Watson.
or Watson or somebody a top quarterback.
Exactly.
But he's a good game manager. You remember for every team that he's went to, he's won games. He went
Yep.
to he won a game with Broncos last year. He won games he had to go through without having CMAC, but he won games there. He won games in New Orleans. He won games in Minnesota. So he's a decent quarterback. He's not a top 10 quarterback, but he will get you wins.
All right.
And the Giants, I just think Giants, not being biased, I just don't think Giants are a very good team.
Yep. Yep.
I don't think Danny Dimes is a good quarterback. I think after this year, they're gonna try to find a different quarterback.
All
I
right.
think Saquon, even though I love Saquon's talent, I think he may be that injury is gonna mess with him. That because when the last time you seen a running back? I talked about this with my coworkers. When the last time you seen a running back besides Adrian Peterson come back from an ACL injury? Adrian
I was
Peterson
about,
is the only one,
yeah, I was about to say AP, and
and Adrian Peterson he's a rare, very rare running back. No other. I even looked it up. Not many other running backs come back from ACL injury. So I hope kind of because I'm still an Eagles fan. And they are in our division, but I hope he can come back from an injury and be like he used to be because he is a very very good talent when he's healthy.
all right.
And like you talked about you having a injury and trying to in your mind it messing with you. Me when I tore my ACL years ago, that next year I was not the same player. I played linebacker, and being a running back, it's all about your legs.
Yep.
and it's not the same coming back from ACL. So I think that's gonna hinder them.
Right.
So this next game we got the Packers versus the Saints. The Saints beat the Packers 38-3. To 3.
Aaron Rodgers looked terrible.
3 points. He gets 3 points. Like, wow.
I was saying he looked like Paul Crew from Longest Yard. He was shaving points.
That's how it looked like because I saw a meme that I died laughing. He said it was like it had Devontae Adams and some other receiver, and A-Rod was smiling. He said, A-Rod, Aaron, we're losing. He said, no, y'all losing.
Y'all losing. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
It ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't gonna be here next year.
Exactly. Vontae ain't gonna be there next year either.
You said what?
Well, I said Vontae ain't gonna be there next year. He need to come on to the Chargers.
Right. If he gone, that's what you want. Yeah. But if A-Rod ain't there, he said, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm
They said last dance, but hey, the way this season starting and this is last dance ain't gonna be like the last dance.
Exactly. Hey, Jameis Winston, that LASIK looking all right, ain't it?
Good, looking like it did something.
He need to be the spokesperson for LASIK.
Right.
Boy, that boy was going crazy. It warmed my heart a little bit. Florida State. Yeah, that Florida State, man. I mean, even though a lot of stuff he do make me feel like this. It kind of be I'd be ashamed to call him a Florida State quarterback.
Don't do that to the boy. He got your championship.
He also stole crab legs. We're gonna get into that, but he's just been looking terrible and eating W's and all that. Just
bro, he would never let that down.
After he ate a W the last week,
he be doing that all the time.
He ate a W, bro.
Stop eating these W's, bro. They're not edible. They're not edible, bro. You don't eat those.
Bro, the faces his teammates was making when he ate a W, bro.
Right, you saw I don't know what player it was, but after he said that, he said, "Hey, all right, so we gonna get like, but move out the way. What you doing? You're not coming to the center ever again."
My boy said, "We're gonna do something today. I'm gonna give it back to whoever." He said, "That's up to you. Let's eat one." Boy, if you don't get your let's move on.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the Bears versus the Rams. These last two games, Bears versus the Rams. The Rams won 34-14.
Matthew Stafford looked like the truth out there, bro.
Right, exactly. That boy having fun out there.
The first play, he go for what, 80 yards?
Hey, that first play, he had to remind who he was.
Exactly. Come on, bro. You remember this arm?
Like Roy Joe Drew's intro to his song. Y'all must have forgot.
Exactly. Yo, he came out there with the sleeve, with the swag.
Exactly.
I said, "Who is this?"
Hey, that boy LA do something to you.
Exactly. Who is this dude? I think Jalen Ramsey might have got to him, man. Jalen Ramsey might have boosted his swag a little bit.
Gotta get him right.
Exactly.
Sean McVay said, "Hey, get your boy, get him right."
Exactly. But yeah, they look great, bro. They look great from start to finish. Them Bears ain't know what hit them.
No. And Bears, they need to go ahead and play Justin Fields. Come on now. Stop playing.
Go ahead, play the boy.
Stop playing. Come on.
Exactly. Come on, man. He come in the game and get you a touchdown. He had limited snaps and still scoring for y'all.
Right.
Man, go ahead and throw him out there, man.
Come on now. The same thing with I mean, it's a little different situation with Trey Lance and San Fran. They just gonna go out there and score a touchdown and come back. Like,
exactly. Can't get no rhythm like that. As a quarterback, I know. As a quarterback is a rhythm position. So you got to go out there. You got to have your highs, your lows. You got to get into the rhythm of the game. And just throw a young quarterback out there and expect him to have success. You can't do that, man.
Right. I
Just
think I said
all
this in
these,
the last part. I hope they don't do these two quarterback systems.
yeah, like Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is I ain't gonna say he's an anomaly, but every team can't do that.
Right.
Every team can't have that. Every team doesn't have a Taysom Hill. You have a actual quarterback that plays quarterback. Don't have him as a utility player. If you're gonna have one quarterback, have one quarterback and sit him and have him learn, but don't try to bring him out in packages just to no,
I
that
hated when
ain't
we did our last year with Jalen Hurts. Like either play him or not. Like
yeah. And that's the worst thing as a quarterback is to, even if he's just a utility player, to have to come off the field so somebody else can get a snap and you go back out there. No. And the down and distance might have changed, and you gotta, make up for the mistake that player might have made. It's just quarterback is a like I said, is a cerebral position, and it's
yeah.
hard to to
I'm not gonna
buy.
say it's sensitive, but it's a delicate position. Like you can't
Yeah,
be playing around with that.
yeah, you can't, bro. You can't.
All right, so this last game, Monday night game, was the the Ravens versus the Raiders. The
That was a crazy
Raiders,
game.
that was a crazy game.
That was a crazy
Raiders
game.
came away with the win at uh 33-27. First off, I was pissed because at my job we have a pool, a pick 'em pool.
Uh-huh.
So we pick the games, and then the pick the winner we want, and then the last game we pick the score of the game. I picked 47. So everybody before the last game, before Monday night, everybody was tired, or not everybody, a few people were tired, and so it goes down to that the tiebreaker, whoever gets the closest to the score. Me going 47. When I looked at overtime, the game was uh what was it, 40? No, I put 57. I'm sorry, 54, 57. I put 57. So the score at the end of the regulation was 27-27. So if the Ravens would have scored a field goal, I would have won and won the money. So when end of the game, the Ravens got a interception in the end zone. I'm thinking the Ravens gonna take it down, kick a field goal, win the game.
Yep.
It looking good, and then Lamar Jackson fumbles. I'm like, bro, I had the money, I had it, and you messed it up.
Exactly. In my hand.
In my hand, it was right there. I saw it.
Right.
But
that's terrible.
I was so hurt.
That was a thriller right there, bro.
It was.
That was a great game to watch. And with that win, the AFC West went undefeated with the Raiders. And I didn't think the Raiders had what it takes to deal with the Ravens. I thought the Ravens was just gonna demolish them, but
that pass rush,
that it was looking good, bro. Max Crosby is a beast, is a problem, dog. Max Crosby is a problem. And then they had one clip.
Was doing anything on the other side too.
Yeah, they had one clip. Max Crosby running down Lamar Jackson. He had to throw the ball out of bounds because he was running him down.
People don't do that.
No, not at the end. They don't.
No.
He was ran that boy down, bro. And it was a great game to watch, man. It was a great game to watch, and it was just going back and forth, man.
Right. If I was a fan, I'd be frustrated.
Right.
But being a fan of football, I loved it.
I loved it. It was great.
I need more of this.
Exactly. Every game needs to be like this, except
for my team.
Exactly. I need y'all to win convincingly.
Right.
So I can don't have a heartache.
Exactly. I need to win in the first quarter.
Because last year, what we known for? Losing games. Yeah, blowing leads and losing games by three or a touchdown. Man, my heart, man. I think I got the heart of a 50-year-old messing with my team.
See, our games last year, we was already out of everything, so I knew we were gonna lose.
He was in that bed playing Madden and when the
Right.
game was on.
I wouldn't even pay attention to the
Oh,
game.
whatever. That's like me in Florida State. I don't even watch the game.
Right. All right, so that's gonna be a bow on the first week. So real
Okay.
quick, we're gonna go over overreactions. What's your
Okay.
overreaction for this past week?
Overreaction is the Packers, man. I don't think they're not that bad. It's just shaking off the rust. They're gonna get back into the lab, and Aaron Rodgers ain't gonna blow a whole season. I think he's gonna come back. He's gonna come back firing. He's gonna come back winning, and even if they don't make the playoffs, I think they're gonna win more games than they lose. So I think that's an overreaction, thinking that that he's shaving points or he blowing the season. That's not him.
Right. My overreaction, I was gonna go with the Texans, but I think the Bills being losing this game and not looking that good. I don't think that's a formula was to come. I think
Yeah,
they better than what they looked this past week. A lot of people thinking that they gonna lose, be not win the division and whatnot. I think they still gonna win the division, but they just need to clean some things up
right.
and they need to maybe game plan a little better because not Baltimore but Pittsburgh they game plan well for this game.
Yeah,
So who's your player of the week for week one?
we basically already talked about it. Offensive player of the week, Kyler Murray. He was doing whatever he wanted to do. That 4 touchdowns and one running. Yeah, that was a great game, man. He was doing great. I didn't think he was gonna be that good. I knew he was gonna be good, but he's showing to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Because a lot of people had him ranked as one of the best quarterbacks, and I was a little skeptical. I was like, after his year last year, I mean, it was pretty good, but I don't think he's up there with the best of them. But coming out that week one, I was like, I don't know. He can do a lot with his arm. He can do a lot with his feet. I mean, he looks pretty unstoppable. And my defensive player of the year, defensive player of the week, we already know that's going to be
I
Chandler
mean,
Jones, man. Five
I think
sacks.
that may be unanimous.
Yeah, 5 sacks. I mean, it don't get no better than that.
Right. For mine for offense, I'm gonna say James Winston because he balled out this first game. That lazy looked like it did something to him.
Right.
It looked like Sean Payton got on that boy and made sure he get anything right. You know he played better when Bruce Arians was a good. No, he have Bruce Arians?
Yeah, but he didn't really.
He didn't really
Yeah,
do.
did it?
He didn't
Yeah,
do Bruce Arians that.
yeah, yeah. He had Bruce Arians.
Yeah, but Sean Payton would a that's a legend. That's the legendary quarterback. That's legendary coach. So I feel like he probably put something on him to make sure he play right.
Yeah,
And for defense, I tried to look through and find somebody different, but you can't. I thought maybe Max Crosby because how he played, but you got to give it to Chandler Jones. That boy was a monster out there.
yeah,
He was a man against boys that day.
exactly.
All right, so we're gonna move on to week two. We'll go over uh this Washington versus the Giants game.
Whew.
Washington won 30 to 29. Very, very close game.
Yep. But that was a great game, man. I had watched that game, and it was just back and forth, back and forth. Um, Terry McLaurin looked like a grown man in that game,
Right,
bro.
right.
He was going crazy.
And he was making plays against y'all, so it's just continuation from that game.
He made one play. He was make one play out here. Nah, but yeah, he a beast, though. He one of the best receivers in the league.
Right.
People don't talk about him as much, but
I think they don't talk about him because what team he played for, but he's underrated.
yeah, he a dog for sure.
Right.
He a dog for sure. And the Giants should have won this game if it wasn't for Slayton dropping a wide open touchdown.
Right.
Man, how do you drop that? How do you drop that, As a coach, and they had him in the game. The next play, I would have took that boy out. You got to sit down for a second for that one.
What Pop used to say, hit him in a bad spot.
hit him in a bad spot.
Your hands, you ain't got no hands. I mean, ain't no what you can do.
Right. Man, I was watching the game. I don't like either of those teams. I I stopped blocking y'all whole division other than the Eagles because, of course, you're my older brother.
Yeah.
So I think your hate became my hate. So, but like even when he dropped that pass, bro, I had to lay down, bro. I had to lay down, man. I'm like, man, how do you mess that up, man? Y'all really not supposed to be in this game with the Redskins anyway.
Right.
But for you to mess that up, come on now. You can't do that. You can't do that.
The one thing I gotta say, we talked about Saquon. Saquon had a total of let me see how many yards he had. No, the first game. Let me check. Which game did he have a 41-yard run?
That was that game.
That game. So he had a 41-yard run, and then he only ended the game with 57 yards total.
Bad.
Bad. On 13 carries. It's not like he didn't get the ball.
Bad.
So I think he may be hitting the decline. And the boy had Danny Dimes had more rushing yards. He almost had 100 yards.
Yep.
91 yards as the quarterback. Unless you like Lamar Jackson or somebody like that, you ain't supposed to have that many rushing yards.
Right.
So I mean, I thought this was a sloppy game. I ain't not watching. Honestly I fell asleep at the after the first half, and I woke up towards the end. But I'm kind of biased because I don't like either team. But this game was just sloppy, and I ain't even like watching it.
Kenny Galladay didn't do nothing.
Nah, Kenny Galladay had 3 catches for 39 yards, 38 yards.
And of course, he is aware of my fantasy team.
So you definitely know he ain't do nothing.
Exactly.
And then they got a clip of him. They said he was yelling at Daniel Jones on the sideline, but from the clip, like somebody said that Daniel Jones walked up after he was already yelling. So I don't know who he was yelling at.
He was yelling at Daniel Jones.
But he was chewing somebody out.
Daniel Jones. Who else you gonna be yelling at but your quarterback?
Right. The person that got to get you the ball.
But Kenny Galladay, sir, you were getting locked up.
Right. I mean,
no other way to put it.
You can't be mad at somebody else. You get locked up.
Exactly. But he was throwing you the ball.
Right.
You can't be mad at a man for throwing you the ball. Go come up with it.
These stats don't say his drops, but no, it don't say his targets. But come on now.
Yeah. I was listening to this game.
All right. So now we're gonna go through rapid fire through each game and say who we think gonna win, just like we did last week.
All right.
So, Pittsburgh and Vegas.
I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh.
Okay. I'm gonna go with. This is tough because, like I said, I don't know if how Ben is. I don't know if Ben gonna be able to do it, but I think I pick Pittsburgh because they defense.
Yeah.
This one's hard for me. Eagles against Niners.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm gotta go with the Niners, dog. That defense.
On my pick 'em, I picked the Niners too, but I don't know which way I want to go because for me and the fan, I know it'll take a little longer on this, but from a fan, because I see my team, I see what they can do, their potential, but at the same time, I'm trying not to be biased and trying to think about who I think gonna like dominate.
Yeah.
But for San Fran, they have a whole lot of injuries at receiver. I mean, not receiver, but cornerback.
Oh.
Even though we have young corners, I feel like we can expose their corners if we can get the ball out because they got a guy named Joey Bosa over there.
Nick,
I'm sorry. I didn't
disrespect us.
But they got Nick Bosa over there, so I feel like we can block up Nick Bosa, then we can win the game.
All right, but they got Solomon Thomas and they got some other guys, but you know.
Yeah, but they got a lot of. They got Fred Warner too. That's another person that scared me.
You got him ranked as one of the the best middle
Top,
linebacker in the league right
right,
now.
at least top 5.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna pick. Sorry, Eagles fan, I know I got jersey on, but I'm gonna pick Niners for that game.
All right.
So next game we can go Texans and Browns.
Oh, Browns.
Browns definitely. We can go uh Broncos and Jaguars. Easy,
Broncos.
easy. Broncos. We can go uh Saints and Panthers.
Saints.
Right. We can go Rams and Colts.
Rams.
Rams. We go Bills and Dolphins. I was kind of torn on this one.
I'm gonna go with the Bills.
I'm gonna go with Dolphins on that one. I'm gonna be dare to be different. I'm gonna go Patriots and Jets.
Patriots.
Patriots. Bengals and Bears.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
I'm gonna go with Bengals too. I don't think Bears gonna win until they put Just Fields in.
Yep. Until you do right by me.
All right. So this next game, remember it's a divisional game. You know how divisional games are.
Okay.
The Falcons versus the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers.
The crazy thing is, on the for betting, they have I think it's like a 12-point the Falcons are a 12-point underdog. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout like that because, like I said, it's the divisional game, regardless of how good teams are. Because with the being the son of a Dolphins fan, how many times the Dolphins then beat the Patriots?
It's true.
So even though I'm still gonna pick the Bucks, I don't think it'll be a blowout win like people think it's gonna be. Even though we destroyed them, and I don't think we're as good as the Bucks, it's a divisional game.
I get that. I get all that. But it's Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady. And the Dolphins been playing Tom Brady for what? How long? Maybe
Ever.
15,
Ever.
something like that.
For as long as I've been watching football.
Yeah, and they beat him. Yeah, they beat him, but they didn't beat him that often.
They beat him almost once every season.
I don't know if that's tough.
But still big Buccaneers.
Yeah, the Buccaneers. Yeah. And the Buccaneers are more loaded than the Patriots were back in the day.
Yeah. So next game we go Vikings and Cardinals.
Yeah, Cardinals.
We're gonna go Titans and Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Non-biasedly, I already know who the winner is. Who gonna be? We got the Cowgirls against the Bolts.
It's gonna be a shootout.
It is.
But I got the Chargers winning.
Me too. I got
the only thing that scares me is Chris Harris being out. And Brian Bulaga being out. But last week Brian Bulaga went down and Storm Norton came in, and he fared pretty good. But their pass rush is definitely not gonna be nowhere near as good as the Redskins was.
Yeah, if I say Bulaga is out, but who's behind Dexter Lawrence? Who's behind Dexter Lawrence?
Some no-name people.
Exactly. So it's kind of like null and void. It's kind of like cancel each other out.
Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory too. So
yeah,
they said they're moving Michael Parsons at the end.
That might be all right for. That might be pretty good, but
I don't know. We'll be rushing off the left.
They're not gonna put him on the left. No, they're not gonna put him on the
rush him off the right.
They can put him on the defensive left.
Yeah.
They're not gonna put him against.
They better not.
Come on, they got more sense than that.
Exactly.
They get paid.
We don't need to even put him at the end if you're gonna rush him off the Rashawn Slater side.
If they could put him Rashawn Slater, you're gonna soon see him back in the at linebacker right after.
Exactly. Now you gonna see him flip to the other side like they did Chase
Right.
Young.
So we got the Chiefs and the Ravens.
The way the Ravens play, I had to go with the Chiefs.
Hmm. I mean, I was gonna pick the Chiefs regardless.
Yeah, but Lamar Jackson,
Yeah, speed. You can't
it's
coach that.
hard. Yeah,
And then for Monday night, we got the Lions and the Packers.
I understand why it's a Monday night now that you say the Packers, but
Yeah.
Packers, like I said, had to be in my my team that my overreaction.
Hmm.
They gonna come out, and especially after they got demolished the first week, Aaron Rodgers ain't playing it.
Right. I think Aaron Rodgers gonna do like we said with that Stafford did. Y'all must have forgot.
Yeah,
All right, so that's the last game. So we're gonna finish it out. We're gonna do
I got two flops too. I'm gonna add two flops.
okay, what's your flop? What's your flop?
Two people that had horrible performances was Aaron Rodgers and
Mm-hmm.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Mm-hmm.
These people didn't have more than 200 yards, and Aaron Rodgers had 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
Right.
That might have been the worst game he's ever played.
And the thing that bugs me is how nonchalant he was about it.
Yeah,
As a football player, that bugged me. Regardless if you got one foot out the door or not, you don't do that.
yeah. But do you really ever see him get hyped?
Not real. I mean, when he scored a touchdown, but
Yeah, well, that's
he's
every week.
kind of like Manning, Eli Manning. Don't really show
Yeah, yeah,
like that blank face.
yeah,
And it bugged me with Eli Manning too. So
yeah, and he's bad.
yeah, he is very. He shouldn't go to Hall of Fame, but he probably will.
I was gonna ask that, but yeah, that's another episode.
So we're gonna go pick one game of the week and one player that you think will go off. Not necessarily from that game that you the player the game of the week. Mine is gonna be actually y'all game. I think y'all game is gonna be the game of the week because you get two good offenses going at each other. I mean, even though y'all got a better defense than their defense, I still think it's gonna be a very high scoring game because their offense is so effective. All right, so go ahead and give your play your game of the week.
My game of the week is gonna be the Chargers and the Cowboys because we both got good offenses, but I think Dak Prescott it's gonna be a shootout because their offense is very high powered. Even though they're missing some pieces, I think it's still gonna be a shootout.
I feel you. So my player is going to go off is Baker Mayfield going against the Texans. I think he about to show out. I think he about to remind us. Y'all must have got. I'm looking at my tagline for the for this episode. Y'all must have forgot because that boy is a beast, and Texans defense isn't that good. So I
Yeah.
think he gonna go off this week.
So my player of the week is going to be. We talked about him a lot this segment. Aaron Rodgers, because after last week, there's a lot of chatter going on in the league that he is doing this on purpose and he's sabotaging the organization and all that. And he's playing on Monday night. And he's playing against the Lions. Yeah, he gonna go. He gonna go for crazy number. This man is the reigning MVP of our league, and he's not going out like that, man. Even if he's not playing next year, he's gonna show people why he's one of the best.
Right. I believe that. So that was a good episode. Everybody like, comment, subscribe,
Share.
follow us both. Follow me at Goal Driven. I'm gonna put the link below. Follow my boy at
Underscore AJ Fuller. And also make sure you follow my boy and his podcast at the Rap or Cat Podcast. That's this shirt right here. We're gonna put that under here too. In this Rap or Cap podcast.
So y'all have a good week. Enjoy these games for the week, and we holler at you next week.
Yes, sir.